Hello everyone and welcome to Heatblur Cold War server in DCS World, and welcome back to the F-5. So with all of the talk of the F-5 recently, I really felt like it, and the server was nicely balanced for a good change, and so I thought, well, going to take this opportunity, jump into the F5, do some really old F5 gaming. Been a long time since I've done that on any server, let alone this one. Was just flying out by myself, but still had a huge amount of fun, largely due to how just fun and relaxed everyone was in the chat. It was a really nice, chill environment. Everyone was friendly, answering questions for everybody, congratulating each other. Just a really nice, good feeling time. So I thought I'd share this one with all of you. So here we are on the first little sortie. Since I am just flying out by myself, I did a little voiceover here instead, because although there was some talking on SRS, there's not really enough to be of interest. And so here I am just flying along. I do get a ping on my RWR of an F1 behind me, and then see a smoke plume, so start turning towards it. Incidentally, here I am using the old F5 cockpit, but with the factory refurbished mod interior, which I think looks really, really nice. That also means that I can take the Coke skin, which is very nice. So see this plane here coming in, definitely in F1. I avoid this first head-on. I don't really feel like doing a head-on. It's just a bit of a dice roll. I know that I can outturn this guy if I can get him to commit to the fight for long enough. However, he does surprise me here. He really cashes in his energy, pulling right back on the stick, and actually outrates me here. We end up coming in. He gets a snapshot on me. Didn't seem like a huge amount, but then when I'm trying to turn back, the elevator just isn't responding. I really don't have any yaw control or aileron control there, sorry, elevator control, and end up blacking out because of the maneuvers I'm doing. Do manage to get back up in time just to eject, but that ends the first little session, and rather funnily, that did end up as a short on YouTube within the hour, which I was quite impressed with his time of turning that around. If I remember, I'll put a link down below to his short of that. Anyway, here is the next sortie, so take off, head back in, don't get very far here until I get a EWR ping of a plane that is just the other side of this little ridge in Kashem Island. And so trying to turn, trying to judge where it's going to be. There is one that is right up there at Angels 21. I'm kind of ignoring him for now. There is one much closer, and do just get sight of this missile trail behind me as another plane joins the fight. Looking there at the EWR, I have rather got myself into trouble here. I do have 5 enemies within 10 miles of me. Right now, this MiG-21 is the only one in very problematic distance for me, but the one directly above can dive in any moment, and the other 3 are not going to be that far behind. Try and get a few snapshots here with the gun, don't really get anything. Do get encouraged by the fact that he did a little tail wiggle there, so he is pulling really hard. He does preemptively flare there, but I'm in no position to fire on him. Do see another plane crossing my nose, but at this point inside, I really need to even the odds. I need to take down one of these guys. Unfortunately, although I do get tone there, I just don't have the angle. So I'm coming around, see the other plane is coming in. He gets a couple of gunshots at me, but doesn't quite get there. Much happier with this angle. As I'm coming around, he has lost a lot of energy, so I quickly fire one off. Just manages to clip him. I really could have done with uncaging and pulling a bit of lead there, but to try to get the missile off as soon as possible. Unfortunately, no sooner than I get my kill than I take a hit in the rear. Luckily, R60s don't do a huge amount of damage, so you can survive them. Unfortunately, I'm very much outnumbered there, and the second one does take me down. So, yeah, not too bad. 1 kill for 2 deaths so far. Load back in, jump into the next one. This is pretty much in the same area that I died. Still a massive furball going on here. At this point, Red are kind of outnumbering us on this particular little section, which means that I don't really have to go very far to find a lot of targets. Now, one thing you may be able to see here is my Pipper is wandering around, and I do get really confused on this one. Turns out what I did is accidentally hit the dogfight button. Not sure when I did that, but I've entered the dogfight mode, and so for the rest of the sortie I am in that without realising, and so the Pipper is never where I want it to be. It's moving around trying to give me estimated lead of an imagined target, rather than showing me where I have to point to get missile tone. By the way, here I am joining a fight. I can see an F-5 is... a MiG-21 is engaging an F-4. MiG-21 is in the lead. Do briefly get tone there, trying to guess where the Pipper should be, but it's very much a matter of guessing here. The F4 is in a better shooting position, so I'm not too fussed about really pushing here. I'm letting the F4, who started the fight, push his advantage, get the kill. Unfortunately, everything starts to go wrong for the F4 at this point. The MiG-21 makes a hard S-turn there. Really trying to push this F4 into overshooting him, which is risky in a MiG-21, but he does pull it off here. Manages to get the reversal. I try and go in to clear his 6. Manage to miss with guns. He then rolls in directly on the F4, and all of a sudden it's gone from me happily sitting back and watching as my teammate gets a kill to me having to really push my plane to try and clear this guy's 6. See that I'm in stalling conditions here, trying to make the turn while not going into the ground, and here's where I really wanted that missile tone to actually work. Failing to get the tone. If I didn't have this in missile mode, I might have been able to pull this off. As it is, that MiG-21 does get his second missile hits home. Desperately trying to get tone here, not really knowing where to go. Is right at the top of this screen is where I need to push it. Do finally get tone, fire one off. Know it's risky firing a Fox 2 into such close engagement, but had to do something. Clear the F4's tail. I do report in that his tail is clear at this point. Unfortunately, that F4 does go into the ground. So yeah, I was a little slow there, messed up with the dogfight mode. A little later on the same sortie, I've just crossed the strait and I'm over onto... Actually, I'm sorry, misremembering. Started crossing the strait, then I'm back on Shem Island. And get another report of a Mirage very close. Turn around to see a large explosion. Hunting around. There is a Mirage that has just gone down. But there is still a MiG-21 in the area, so I do still need to keep my eyes out. Do see a couple of dots, but there are also multiple things around me, so desperately trying to see. Dots that I do see largely end up being parachutes. This has been a very active conflict zone here. Another turnaround, another large explosion, and F4 has just whipped in and got on 1 kill. I see something else here going high. See that white afterburner trail which indicates MiG-21. I know I don't have the thrust to keep up with him in this vertical, so I'm just trying to turn under him, hoping that he'll dive down at a good position for me to re-engage. Yeah, unfortunately, he dives down into a position to get nose on me, so I tighten my turn, trying to make myself a harder target. See, he is really turning, getting the wing vortices there. But on the bright side, I'm still alive, and I have bled him with a fair amount of speed. And that F4 whips back around and gets the second kill there. So there we go, nicely done. That is me alive, and another kill to that F4. Again, a short while later here, following the EWR picture, it sends me back across the Gulf here, the little strait even, and so heading towards the mainland. Got a Mirage here that is cold to me, and that is because he is hunting an A10 that has been in this area. You can see the A10's handiwork on the ridgeline there. And just there you can see the A10 staying low, staying in the ridge, trying to make himself a difficult target. Luckily the F1 here is very much focused on the A10. Fortunately I don't merge at the best angle there. Let's try and come around, he turns inside me. I am really not in a good position, but again, thankfully he is focusing on the A10. If he was focusing on me, he very much could have got me there. So I'm alive more out of luck than anything. I lose sight of the F1, see the A10 flaring, and so keep an eye on the A10, this guy blows past, and again here I would love to have the Pipper in the right mode. This is just me being out of practice in the F5 and forgetting what dogfight mode looks like. Try and pull up around here, don't quite get enough lead to get a gun solution, so keep my guns off. Dive back in on him. Again, this would be a perfect opportunity for a shot, but I am well in the wrong position to actually get tone here. Luckily, someone else comes along and makes up for my ineptitude there. Whips in, gets the kill, clears the A10. Short while later, start heading back over the Gulf and then get called onto a 3-ship of F1s here. You can see 2 of them in close formation. Missile does get fired on one of my friendlies here, not on me. And here we end up in the merge. So at this point this is a 2-on-2, 2 F5s versus 2 F1s. There has been a fair bit of communication on SRS at this point, just alerting each other. There's not a huge number of people online, so those of us who are online just keeping us updated of where the action is, where we need help. And here you can see 2 F1s going in. I decide to try and get guns on this F1. Leaving the gun sight picture, don't quite get guns on there, miss and overshoot. Again, really out of practice, especially with the guns on the F5. So, don't quite land that. End up falling on the other one's tail, so decide, well, I'll go for him. I know I'm being shot at here. Do check 6, don't see him anymore, so hope that he's flown off and disengaged. He did actually fire a missile at me. Oh no, sorry, misremembering that. He didn't fire a missile at me, that was friendly F5 coming in and firing a missile and getting the F1. Unfortunately, the other F1 comes in, and before I think enough to warn the F5 goes down. So that would just leave it with a one-on-one, but our little dogfight has been drawing in all sorts, so there is at least one other friendly and one other hostile in this fight, with another on the way. So quite a complex fight. F-5 just whizzes past my canopy there. MiG-21 past my canopy there. I'm sticking on this guy. Again, fire, nowhere near enough lead. Get a little bit of lag for some reason, not really sure what that's about. Do finally get tone, fire a missile off at this low energy state F1, and he goes down. So despite the dodgy Pipper, I did actually manage to get 2 missiles off and 2 kills with them. Unfortunately now I'm down to guns, and as we've seen, I am too out of practice with the F5's guns to be able to use it confidently. But there's no way I can really disengage from this fight. We've got 2 more enemies in this, multiple friendlies, so I'm just going to stick around. If nothing else, I can be a bit of a distraction. And you never know, if I fail to do anything useful, I can get some guns practice. You can see that I've got multiple planes here. I'm trying to judge which one I should go in on. See one passing under me, very, very quickly lose eyes on him, unfortunately. End up seeing 2 of them behind me. See EWR pictures looking bad there. 3 within 5 miles is not a good situation to be in. And so just trying to keep evasive more than anything at this point. I think I've got some chance against this 21. Jink over him just to make sure he doesn't get shot off. And unfortunately his friend is coming in on my 6. And that time the single R60 was enough to take me out. So this is the next run then. Heading in. This is pretty much the same dogfight as before, it's just slowly gone to higher and higher altitude, so I'm trying to join in here. Luckily I've got some nice advice from people in chats explaining what I was doing wrong there, so I've managed to fix that. And heading into this group, we can see there are 3 targets in the area. Trying to ID which one is which at this point. You can sort of see their wing forms, but we've got a F1 in this group, or multiple F1s. See someone very, very much explodes and goes down there. On the kill feed, you can see that was an F4 killing one of the F1s, so this has got a little bit more even. But this is now 2 F1s on this F4 here. 2 of us do give a warning there to for that F4 to check his 6. Unfortunately, he does take a missile right in the back. He is not in a good way here. So continue on, trying to close the distance. So we pass over, try and identify wing forms here. See, this is an F1 on my nose, the other plane nearby was a F4. Let this one pass under me, since he turned, unfortunately, into me. If he turned away from me, I'd be in a good position there. Unfortunately, he chose to do the more sensible option. Always annoying when your opponent does the sensible thing. So here, getting nice views as the other F5 comes in. Other F5 gets a couple of hits. I notice that I have a 6, so kind of leave that F5 to do his thing while trying to evade my 6. Lose sight of mine temporarily, do reacquire him. He does seem to have lost some distance. Let's come in, get a bit of a closer look, see that F4 there nicely Got a wing fire on the F1, so he is in a good position, so I'm not worried about him. More worried about the guy who's been trying to kill me, and very worried about the fact that I've lost sight of the guy who's trying to kill me. So, see 2 planes here, and then another crosses my nose. Fortunately, here the F4 does take a hit from something. I don't quite see what from. The F4 can take damage at least, so he does keep on trucking for now, but no plane likes it when you get hit with a missile. See, this guy off my nose. Confident this is the hostile that I've been hunting. I do get tone. I don't have a good angle here, but I pull lead all the same with it uncaged. Try and fire one off when it looked like he was reversing his turn. Unfortunately he didn't, he continued his turn, and so that missile really just didn't have the angle. The AIM-9P just can't make those kind of turns. So I'm trying to take on this guy. I can see the damaged plane down below me, leaking a lot but still in the fight. Now here I do make a mistake. I see this guy's extending away and decide, well, he's going to escape, I may as well fire a missile, even though I kind of know that this missile is out of range. Really shouldn't have done that. It's just a waste of a missile. He was going to get away either way. Saving the missile would have been a much better bet, especially because as he starts to extend away, I start to close on him here, and so I could have actually done a lot of good just by hanging on to that. Make matters worse, we see that there is another dogfight off my nose here. Now here I am, following this hostile into the dogfight once again, so if I kept my missile, I wouldn't be far off missile range here, and so then I could pick up a very nice kill on this MiG-21. As it is, I'm entering an outnumbered dogfight with only guns, trying to pick my target, really just judging by what I end up in a good position against. Do purposefully enter dogfight mode here. I'm going to go for the radar dogfight mode. Although I still have it on the fixed Pipper, because again, out of practice, forget which dogfight mode it is which. Trying to get hits there, and you can see I really need to get better at leading the F-5. Just kind of spraying bullets around him, nothing is hitting him. He is turning very, very evenly, which should have been a big clue to me. Do get my Pipper in the correct dogfight mode at least. But him turning nicely and steadily like this really should have let me know that he is dragging me. I should be checking 6, especially with so many enemies around. He reverses his turn there, which perfectly makes me reverse my turn, straightening out for his wingman just to get the kill. That was very much my mistake. I should have known exactly what he's doing there. Pay attention to what your enemies are doing, I guess. Either way, head back in. And here what I'm doing is joining an F4, which once again is in a 2-on-1 against a pair of F1s. Do come in on one of them here, pull lead once I get tone, fire off a missile. I knew it was quite long range, not the best, but it does just clip that guy as he slows down his manoeuvre. And so very much happy there. This goes from a 2-on-2 to a 2v1 in our favour. Then I explode, which really confuses me. Unfortunately, that's the F4 managed to turn around and get nose on me. So the friendly I saved accidentally splashes me, but he does immediately apologise. As I said, this was actually a really nice, friendly session. Everyone was talking and being chill, and so he apologised immediately. I forgave him, all nice and happy. Time to join the next session. I do call out that there was that missile got launched in the air just a little bit too slow. See this F1 here. Now, what happened on this one is the server had just restarted, so everyone all took off at once, all headed over, and pretty much both teams are meeting each other at the same little strip of land. Doing a lot of communication at this point. We're all trying to help each other find these bandits, because there are plenty of them. Get tone here, uncage, pull lead, and even though he flares, it does hit him. There we go, take him out. Now there are a lot of things in the area. Do have a friendly near me. We know there is a MiG-21 6 miles away and plenty of others coming in, so we're just looking around. Again, nicely just highlighting how nice and polite everyone was. The guy splashed there, Crazy G-Man, just goes and congratulates me on a good kill, and there was a lot of that there on the server that day. A lot of people getting shot down and just saying good fight, good kill. A lot of people complimenting each other, being nice. A lot of people having trouble with one thing, getting answers from both teams. Just really how the DCS community should be. Just all of us just playing with our fun digital planes here, and just enjoying the fact that everyone else is having fun playing with our fun digital planes. By the way, we're talking to each other, trying to identify what's going on. Realise something is right behind me, so I break off and turn. See a missile being launched. Multiple calls there for flaring. Unfortunately, it is rather chaotic here, and not everyone is on SRS, so despite the multiple callouts, not everyone gets the alert to actually flare. So we do lose one of ours there. See multiple shots being exchanged. That is an A4 in front of me, so I'm not worried about him. More interested in this dogfight with an F4 behind me. Turn around just in time to see the missile getting slammed behind me by a Su-25. So there we go, I go down once again. But yeah, really fun session. Really enjoyed that. Not my most successful session, but not a bad session. Pretty even, killed to death by the end of it. And as I said, really friendly chat on SRS, on the text. Really how the all DCS servers really should be. Everyone should just take a moment, realise that we're all just playing games together. We're all here to have fun, so let's just have some fun together. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed that, and I hope to catch you in a future video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.